Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back with another video finally. Well, I say finally, it's been 2 or 3 days. I normally do like to record every day if I can, and I love to record as many videos as I can. But yeah, I'm finally back. It took me quite a while to get to it, but I hope my voice lasts long enough, and is clear enough to make videos. So I've been trying to get back to it for 2 or 3 days now. So I've been missing uploading content, although I do get a bit shy and nervous sometimes. But anyway, I hope I won't waffle too much. Here is my shopping list for Christmas, sort of updated. I know it's kind of not very far away from Christmas now, so it's a bit sort of late, I suppose, or short notice really. But anyway, I thought I'd just record it for a bit of fun. So I hope you enjoy it, and are kind enough to share the videos and support my content and that kind of thing, my content creation. Well, again, I'll try not to waffle too much. But yeah, so obviously it's a shopping list, so it's in list form. One of the usual 4-part videos. So anyway, here it goes. So number one, the reason why it's took me quite a while to get back to uploading is because I think, and I've not taken the test, but I'm pretty sure I have COVID. On Monday, I was pretty fine. I think I did have a few coughs and sneezes, but because of my allergies, I think I have dust allergies and stuff like that. So I'm used to sort of sneezing and coughing. So I was at like the coffee morning or tea morning for me, because I drink tea that I normally go to, and I just started sneezing and coughing quite a bit profusely for a while, but that didn't last that long. But I did have to go to the bathroom and freshen up for a bit. But also I brought them a present to say thank you for hosting the events, and also as it was the last one before Christmas, so it's kind of to say thank you for hosting the events, and also as a Christmas present, because I wasn't going to see them till like probably after the New Year. But anyway. So I thought I'd bring presents for the people who host coffees and things like that. And also, but yeah, so Monday I felt, although I coughed and sneezed a bit, I just took it that I normally do that anyway, because of my dust allergies and things like that, because of my hoarding and the fact that I do just sneeze and cough, so I get used to it. Obviously nowadays people get worried with that kind of thing because of COVID. But on Tuesday morning when I got up, I was just really knackered, as we say, or tired, for those outside the UK. And I was wondering why. But I put it down to like I'm normally like that anyway, so I didn't really think much about it. I just thought I do get tired, probably because of my anxiety and depression and stuff like that. So I thought that's probably what triggered it. But then later on, I had a feeling in my chest, in my sort of throat, in my chest, and that. Well, I think it was my throat actually. Sorry, probably a little bit in my chest as well, but especially in my throat, or it was just at my throat at that time, I think. But anyway, something like that, and one of the two. And I was like, I've probably got something like cold or flu. Or nowadays, everyone thinks like COVID as soon as you have those problems, and then. So I was just tired all day, and then I really wanted to record, so I recorded a few videos, or I recorded one video, but I didn't get around to working on my plans or anything like that. But yeah, I just slept quite a lot, and I was a bit too tired to move, let alone eat or stuff like that. But my brother looked after me, to be fair. He did make sure I had enough to eat and stuff like that, and sort of almost force fed me. So that he said, if you're going to get better, you have to eat and drink and stuff like that. So as you can tell, I normally drink a lot of tea, so I hope that will boost my immune system, and hopefully by tomorrow I'll be fit as a fiddle again. But I was hoping I'd be better by like Wednesday or Thursday. But my back at night time on Tuesday, my back just started to freeze up. My back was really frozen, and then on Wednesday I was hoping I'd be better, but I just hoped if I was optimistic I would be better quite quickly. But I was probably even worse, and I was like struggling to even move. I went from a little walk just around the block on both those days, and then I like at one point my legs were like quite sore. My right leg was quite sore. Like the bottom half of my right leg, probably just my ankle, I think, was quite sore, and so so that was pretty bad. But and then so that was Wednesday, and then yesterday I was still a bit tired. Just trying to remember my symptoms. So my symptoms were like having a really cold back. Again, sometimes I get really cold anyway, so I just put it down to, or sometimes I put it down to like being cold. But with all those things together, I thought obviously this is like my back was really cold, like freezing. Anywho, so I'm assuming it's COVID. But so the point I'm making, all that sort of stuff, if I remember those symptoms and all that kind of thing, is I know I often say nice life story, but the point of mentioning all those things is I'm hoping that I can get better. So that's one of the Christmas presents, like, is having good health, which I think that's on my Christmas shopping list, is to have good health, which is, I think, the main thing. I suppose people say probably the most important thing, or one of the most important things, certainly in life, like as well as family, friends, and things like that. Some might say faith. I would say family, friends, and faith. Those three things, those three Fs, or whatever. I won't mention other Fs, but anywho, like having good health, I suppose that would be number one, or being back to normal health or whatnot. I know my health isn't always the best. My own fault, really, because of my diet as well. Although I do a fair amount of walking, not as much as I used to, and I used to play football a lot, so that's something that kept me healthy. As I often say, soccer for any Americans out there. Number two, sorry, I did cover that point in quite a lot of detail, but number two, I wished that it would snow every day in December. So I'm hoping for a white Christmas, like snow, basically. Unfortunately, it hasn't snowed, certainly not in my part of the UK very much. It snowed a little bit at the start of December, funny enough, but sadly enough for me, it didn't snow much. I suppose the dark side of snow is like when it starts to melt, or when it turns to ice, basically. When it starts to melt, it turns to ice and that kind of thing. And if it's black ice, it's quite dangerous, like when you're traveling, walking, or driving, or stuff like that. So I suppose that is the downside of it. But if you have good tires for your car, and perhaps people should have more of that kind of stuff for snowy weather. Although here in the UK, it doesn't snow enough to sort of be worth that investment, I suppose. But people should probably have good footwear so that they don't slip, he says, including myself. But yeah, I wish for snow. I suppose that's one thing from a selfish point of view. Number three, I'd love to be as free as possible. Like I wish there was less rules or less laws. I think, like for me, I think the only rules, I think people should be as free as they wish to be, as long as their freedom doesn't violate other people's freedom. But I'd love to support libertarianism. On that note, number four, also supporting people from former colonies. Number five, supporting my five causes, which I talk about, which are benefiting Italian football, Celtic FC, libertarianism, supporting former colonies, peace, world peace, and that kind of thing, and tackling poverty, alleviating suffering, and spreading peace, love, joy, hope, and happiness, and that kind of thing. On that note, I hope everyone will be healthy for Christmas. And also, I think it'd be interesting if there was like a truce day on Christmas, so like all nations that go to war, or all nations that are involved in war, like Israel, Palestine, I think parts of Africa and Asia and that kind of thing, where neighboring nations go to war, maybe they could have one day of truce on Christmas, so there could be like a Christmas truce day, just like the song, I was going to say Neil Lennon sang, John Lennon, that was it, not Paul Lennon, or Neil Lennon, but John Lennon said like war is over and that kind of thing. I think it'd be pretty cool if like on Christmas it was like truce day, international truce, an international day of truce. I think that'd be pretty cool. But again, tackling poverty, alleviating suffering, spreading peace, love, joy, hope, and happiness, and that kind of thing. Helping others less fortunate, and that kind of thing. I know people say Christmas is pagan, but maybe it's like what is used for negative stuff and all the negative stuff that sometimes perhaps goes along with Christmas, perhaps arguably, there could be like a positive version of. Another thing is, I hope my voice will be clear enough as part of my shopping list. I hope my voice will be clear enough in my videos, and my videos will be as good as possible, and hopefully people enjoy them. Hopefully they'll spread joy somehow. Number 6, another selfish sort of thing I would wish for, just like snow, I suppose it's probably a selfish dream. Although kids love snow, I think that's a pretty cool thing. So it's probably not quite as selfish as I fear. But another selfish thing, I talked about like my dreams for Italian football, like teams like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Monza, Roma. I didn't really cover enough about Roma, I don't think. But in the past, I've talked about Roma, Juventus, and basically Italian teams generally. I'd love for them to get as much investment as possible. And as Christmas is on a Monday, I really dream somehow, maybe if Milan fans, AC Milan fans and Inter Milan fans and Monza fans wrote to potential companies to ask them if they would invest. I'd love for AC Milan to be co-owned by like Apple, Amazon, Alibaba, and other companies that begin with A, that I mentioned before. I know I'm slightly dyslexic, but I don't get my A's and M's mixed up normally. But anyway, I would love for them to have investment from those companies and organisations and investors, and like Inter Milan to have investment from companies that begin with I, or international companies generally as well, and companies like Invest Corp, which was talking about investing in Inter Milan. It would be cool if it was on Christmas Day itself that those companies invested in Inter Milan and AC Milan respectively, and Monza as well, like Monzo Bank investing in Monza. Although it's short notice, I can't really imagine it happening, but it'd be a cool Christmas miracle if it happened. And basically Italian teams like Fiorentina, and it's Friday as well, I mentioned Fiorentina, and just Italian teams generally getting so much investment as close to Christmas as possible. I think that'd be pretty cool. Torino on the bank holiday, because it was a Tuesday as well, on alliterations, but as close to Christmas as possible. I think it'd be cool if Italian teams got that investment, maybe even on, I'd say generally speaking, on Christmas Day itself, or maybe in Torino's case on Boxing Day, and in Fiorentina's case on Friday, which would be the 29th, which is would be quite interesting because it's exactly 4 months after my birthday, which is obviously August the 29th. Fiorentina could be co-owned by all possible investment vehicles or companies that begin with F. Maybe Frosinone could be have shares from France and things like that. Like France had its own sovereign wealth fund, and Italian teams generally being having investment on either on Christmas Day itself or Boxing Day, or on Friday, which would be the 29th again, which would be exactly, as I say, 4 months since my birthday. So it'd be like a Christmas/birthday present all in one. So I hope that made sense. Basically, Italian teams being co-owned by, i.e. getting investment and shares and equity from companies and investors generally that begin with the same letter. So for alliterative purposes. And number 7, on that note, also Celtic to be, well, I'd love for Celtic to get as many investors, shareholders and whatnot as possible. And I hope that Celtic can get 9 points before before New Year's. A big one. So I hope Celtic, on that note, pick up 3 points tomorrow. And I have a lot of views on that, but I'm going to move on because I think I've covered this. This video has gone longer than I planned, as ever. 8, I hope God shows He loves me and He's on my side, from a selfish point of view again. But I'd love for God to bless everyone. Just generally. Number 9, I'd love to have like, actually I could have mentioned point number 8 as well. I'd love to have like creative spaces where I can write and make YouTube videos and type and things like that, and work on my goal, what I call 1, 2, or for 1, or share for share, or like for like. I'd love to do that as soon as possible, preferably before New Year's Day at least. As I say, as soon as possible around Christmas or whatnot. That would be a good Christmas present as well. And number 10, I'd love to support young people, and I hope again that people will support young people and homeless people, the poorest 10% of people in communities all around the world, and also like disabled people and disadvantaged people generally. And as ever, I'd love to know what you think, and I am out. Peace and love.